What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Now before I start the show today, I just want to recognize the passing of a cultural icon. 90210 was a huge show in the 90s, and one of the most interesting characters on that show was Dylan. The actor who played Dylan, Luke Perry, unfortunately passed away today at the age of 52. Now of course everybody on that show was pretty, but there was something about the character of Dylan that was incredibly appealing. He had this James Dean-esque quality to him and made it quite his own. All I know is that women absolutely loved him, and for those of us watching as young impressionable men, we wanted to be him. Although later on in the show it would become a guilty pleasure for those of us watching who were transitioning into adulthood, we will always have fond memories of that awesome first season. Later on in his career, Luke Perry chose some really interesting projects to work on, demonstrating his wonderful range. He was truly talented. He will definitely be missed. You know, I haven't quite figured out how to transition like this. I hate doing it this way, it's always awkward, but we gotta get on with the review and get on with the show. And sorry my friend, we totally ate up your intro here, but I wanted to be respectful. So today we're going to be reviewing Diamond Select Toys' version of the Black Manta, the movie version. Let's take a closer look. You know, the first time I saw the concept for Black Manta was when I was a kid, when I saw him in the League of Doom in the original Super Friends cartoon. And I thought he was one of the most interesting characters. I always wondered how they would put him on screen without making him look goofy, and they certainly pulled that off in the Aquaman film. This is an absolutely beautiful statue, and the head sculpt is remarkable. I love the color palette here, that gray offset with the black tones, and especially those brilliant red bulbous eyes. They did a fantastic job here, guys. It looks amazing. This exquisite attention to detail also extends to the midsection and upper torso of this piece. Now, I want to draw your attention to the center of this piece because it is very interesting. I love the detail here. The armor set is brilliant, the color palette is fantastic. There is this kind of gunmetal gray to it, offset against the black. The tubing is fantastic, but what really impresses me is the gauntlets. And if you'll notice, you see the separation in the armor set, which is really cool because it's modularized. The blades are done so well. I love the one that's actually hidden, very a la Assassin's Creed. Now the lower section of this piece is very impressive. The stance is absolutely epic and fantastic. I love the way he's standing there. And take a look at the armor sense. Again, there's that wonderful sense of modularization, which looks really great. The color palette is fantastic, and I think the gunmetal really shines a little bit more, and it really accentuates the sculpt. But in terms of the design, you see the kind of striations on the side of the quad muscle, which is very well defined. It just makes the engineering as to how he moves through the water more impressive. Now this is definitely a piece that you want to mirror because the reverse side is not only detailed, but it's intricately designed. You also get a better sense of his propulsion system. Just take a look at the tank bat there. I love that there is a red stripe right down the middle. You also get a better sense of the hidden blade, which looks fantastic. And of course, all the tubing looks great. At the lower part of the back and reverse side of this piece, you also see the legs, and again, you see that wonderful propulsion system in the calf muscles. Definitely mirror this one, guys. Now, I was really impressed with Diamond Select Toys' version of the Aquaman base, and this one is no less spectacular. I love looking at the ruins and the broken columns of Atlantis, and here they did a really great job as well. This looks like actual stone, and that column, the crumbling in the middle, all the kind of nooks and crannies just look fantastic. It's very granular, but it did a really good job, and it's a relatively small footprint in relation to the statue, which is always a good thing. But even if it wasn't, I would still love it because it is epic. Now there are a couple of statues out there that are a mid-tier collectible, which means they're a little bit higher in price, around $150. But because of the fact that you get so much detail with this piece, and it's so intricately sculpted, and only at under 40 bucks, it has earned my Holy Grail seal of approval. I can only hope that Diamond Select Toys comes out with a Mara version, which should be awesome as well. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Now before I go, I just want to thank FMB Collectibles Incorporated for sponsoring today's episode, and GameStop for sending this wonderful piece over for review. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Diamond Select Toys' version of the Black Manta, the movie version. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.
everything I've got, you can have. When it's all too much, we need some human touch to see it's really not so bad. Did you call on Emily, saying you know? Still you would feel like you're on your own. Can you see through your tears? I will always be here. You're not out there, baby, all alone. Hold on, do you feel a little stronger? Hold on to me. Yeah, I'm not saying that. Hold on, everything's gonna be alright. Just hold on to me tonight. Anything that hurts you hurts me too. I'm not gonna let your world turn blue. Will you take my hand and feel how close I am? There ain't nothing I won't do for you. Whoa, now, hold on to feel a little stronger. Hold on to me. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Age with desperation and passion possessing a maturity beyond my years.
Could this possibly be the same girl that I took fishing the day after she dropped out of Minnesota?
Well, there is a vague resemblance. Although going fishing with you was definitely one of the best times I had all year.
Better than starring in the play?
Close. You know, I never got to properly thank you for my present. I think it worked.
Well, I'm glad.
And through all the audition craziness, you were really the only one who stood by me. Thank you.
Brenda,
Dylan,
you go first.
I was just gonna excuse myself. I have to get to the theater. What were you gonna say?
Have a good show.